All right. Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? I'm maybe over caffeinated and I still have a fair amount of coffee left in my cup. So we might get a little crazy today. And by that, I mean I might have heart palpitations, but that's fine. I definitely decided to play caffeine roulette 2 days in a row. Which, hey Stars, how you doing? You survived that storm? It's always good to see you. Yeah, time zones are rough. Hopefully, once I get things a little bit more settled, I can do more morning streams. It sounded like it, especially right after all that heat. Those can get pretty wild. I'm working on a seam ripper because I mentioned it the last time we were working on this and somebody really liked it. I think it was Betty liked the idea. And I feel like I need some more stickers for this anyway, so. I do feel like my music is a little loud today, for me at least. Which probably means I was listening to it on my own and turned it up a little bit. There we go. I'm glad you made it through the storm, especially since y'all were having that work done on your house. Could have been scary. It is. Seam rippers are a godsend, although usually I am really stubborn and don't even use the seam ripper. I just use my pair of scissors. I think I also want to add some more smaller stickers to this batch, but I'm not entirely sure what I want to add. Because I feel like a lot of these stickers are big ones. Yeah, that's good, Stars. Otherwise, that would have been just like even more of a mess. I think I want to do like a nice wood grain on the handle of this. All the seam rippers I've ever owned have that like bright plastic handle, but I think doing some warm wood tones will go nicely with the other stuff on the sheet. Good, glad to hear it. We are probably pushing off our roofing for another year because we need to get a structural engineer to come look at our house. We had like a lot of snow this winter, and the garage roof is sagging some, so we need to get a structural engineer to make sure that everything is okay in there before we, just slap stuff on top. At least I think that's the plan. Although our lives have been a little crazy this summer. Well, this year, I really should say. Yeah, we might, I don't know. My dad was talking about maybe just getting the roofing tiles on since the company is already storing them for us, which is something. And then like we can just deal with the money aftermath of having to maybe fix the inside of the house afterwards, which is something. I think I need to add another line here to indicate the blade, which is going to be a pain in the butt to get that right. So I think maybe I'll bring this out just so that it reads better. I think I'll do the outside line and then worry about that probably. Oh, I think I'm going to sneeze. Hang on a second. Whew, you didn't hear that, but excuse me anyway. I think that's a little wonky, but I think wonky is fine. The other thing I'm doing today, I guess if I had been thinking about it, I would have just made a pinned post before I actually started talking. The other thing is that I'm planning on making a Halloween sticker sheet, and that will be my next physical project. So I need thoughts about what people really think of as Halloween. What kind of item do you think that it wouldn't be Halloween without? Just gonna do... Or just anything you think would be cute, really. It would help if I could type properly. There. I can pretend like I know what I'm doing. I did start writing ideas down. Jack-o'-lanterns for sure. Candy corn. I want to do a skull with a candle on it, like kind of occulty style. Good, good. I can actually pull that out right now. I've done a cauldron before that I really liked. Maybe I'll just scan that one and use it as a sticker. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. This guy that I did in 2019 for a Drawloween that I started and then never finished. But I think that would make a big sticker, but a cute sticker. I guess I could do an individual sticker this and then put just the cauldron part. on a sticker sheet. Yeah, it's hard to tell because I have it bagged up and everything, but there's metallic gel pen there in the sparkles. I guess I could scan that and make a print of it too, if I felt like it. I have a bunch of like older art hanging around that I haven't really done anything with that maybe I should sell the originals and put the others up for prints. It can't hurt to have them available. There. Let's see, because I have some other ones that are kind of Halloween-y, if I can find where they are in my folder here. Not those. I have too much art hanging around. That's not even art, that's a Pokemon card. So like I have this one too, which has some metallic watercolor on it, which is hard to tell through the bag, but there we go. Kind of see it there. Which is another one from that same Drawloween. And even though this one isn't like spoopy, it probably fits with a Halloween theme. It's more about depression. Depression is scary enough, but that's a year-round issue. So maybe I'll add those as prints. Ooh, sorry, I hit the table. Sell those as prints and sell the originals, maybe. I could also redo this. It's been a while since I did it. I might be better at it now, I don't know. Oh, I need to write down those ideas. My brain is just a mess of a place. Black cat, chat. Hey Sparkle, how you doing? Cauldron. I guess I have like the ugliest ghost that ever existed too, that I could add. Yeah, I feel that, Sparkle. I have ingested more coffee than is good for me in an attempt to mitigate that. I just could not for the life of me get to sleep last night. Here they are. Oh yeah, I guess I have this little yaw mask that I did for that too. And the Ghost of Fashion Since Past, I think is what I called this. So Paisley Ghost, and then each of the, that's not going to be fully in focus, each of the letters is a different pattern that could be considered ugly. I think camo is pretty well considered a fashion crime. I grew up in the early 2000s, it was everywhere. And then some plaid with colors that don't really mix, and like the classic ugly Christmas sweater kind of pattern. So maybe I'll add those in with that, or just sell these. I don't know. They've just been sitting around for so long. Let's do regular pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns. Maybe a bowl of candy too. Bats was the other one. Okay. Maybe I want to do some little stickers for this that look like stitches, because I'll do a clearish background. Potions, that's a good idea. I love that. Maybe I'll make a... Potions are just so fun because you can make them whatever you want. And we'll see. Maybe I'll get enough ideas and I'll get so hyped about it that I'll make like 3 sticker sheets. That's the thing about sticker sheets. I can just come up with these little ideas that are very achievable and then shove them all together and suddenly I've made something. I do think I'm going to make the Halloween ones actual sheets instead of on scraps like I'm doing with this, so that I can sell the originals in prints, because I think those will be popular. Unless there are people who really want to have some minis available, I might do some separate and add them in or something like that if people are really interested. What was I saying? I'm so easily distractible. My brain is like trying to herd squirrels. Oh, maybe I'll do some little stickers that look like stitching, because I'll do a clear matte, like a frosted background like my other sticker sheet is, because I really like the style of that. And then you could like use them on stationery to make it look like you've stitched the envelope closed or something. I think that would be cute. Oh, sorry, that bag was probably really loud. So, because I do still have this this one that we drew last time I was doing this to paint. Excuse me. I need to stop clicking my tongue because that's going to be really loud and annoying. How do I want to do this? Maybe I want to do it just in watercolor and then line it. What I really should have brought out here today is a ruler, and I didn't. But we can improvise, that's fine. So I think doing like a line of cross stitch would be cute. Then maybe a needle that looks like it's through something. I was thinking, actually, I had this idea last night. I should have written it down. For a cat for the Halloween one, or just ever. If I could do like 2 pieces of stickers. So like a little cat face with his little paws over something. And then that would be clear so that you could just stick it on something, and then the bottom half would be separate so that you could make him look like he's hugging on something. So like sticker 1 and sticker 2, and then you can just put them on either edge of something. I thought that would be a cute idea. I'm thinking about a lot of these as like stationary designs. just because that's what I use these kind of stickers for is closing envelopes and adding little flair when I send packages and stuff like that. I guess you could do something like that with jack-o'-lantern too. So you could have like the top mouth and the bottom mouth so it would look like he was biting it. Maybe. But maybe I can do like a needle so that it looks like how you stick it in fabric when you aren't using it, you know? Something like that. I feel like I'm forgetting something else I was going to say on stream. I need to start making a list. I make a list and everything else. You'd think I would think that through, but apparently not. Oh, I made new emotes yesterday. That's what it was. So I drew 2 new emotes yesterday. One of them is going to be a bit badge one, and another one I think I'm going to swap out one of the sub badges, or the sub emotes for, excuse me. Just because I think that it will get more use. So let me show you because I made a thing so that I could show you. So I've got the hi there, or hey, in the middle, and then the mess one in the bottom. I'm not sure how well that one reads, but it definitely reads as stressful, which was the important part. But I'm thinking I might change out dihydrate for hay in the tier 1 sub emotes, and then add those to my bit badges, the dihydrate and the mess. Just because I think a hay is more useful to most people. I know the fire and the dead one have been getting a lot of use, so in comparison to the other ones. So I'll probably leave those as tier 1 subs. But if anybody has a strong opinion, then you should just let me know. Because if I do them as bit badges, even if you aren't subbed, it means that you can't unlock them with channel points. So even if you aren't subbed and you have an opinion, let me know. Though I don't think that any of these are like ride or die emotes, honestly. I do also want to make brain please a lull style emote and like a pouting or crying emote, which I think would be good for follow emotes whenever I get those. I should really start countdown for that since it's just 60 subs since affiliate. Yeah. Oh, I kept drawing and didn't change scenes. I'm sorry. There you go. It wasn't very exciting. I do probably want to make that a straight line. Otherwise it looks wonky. There we go, that's a little better. And I am still working on the animated emotes. The dance and a hug one. Also, I guess if we hit the sub goal, I'll need to reconsider all that because we'll have another sub emote slot. So, okay, inking this. And then we can actually get painting. Fun fact, the inspiration for this specific song was a Terry Pratchett quote. Which Terry Pratchett quote? I could not tell you. Something about from the funeral to the wedding was the... I don't remember which one. So I have only read a little bit of Terry Pratchett, and actually, I should fix that. Read more Neil Gaiman than I have Terry Pratchett. It's so nice and sunny here today. I need to keep an eye on the exposure for as the sun moves closer and closer. We had some really cold days. I actually had to turn the heat back on in July, which is wild. But it got down to like 62 in the house. So I had to. I was too cold. But I don't think we've ever had the heat on in July before here. Because the houses are made to hold in the heat. So if you have any sun at all. Yeah, I know. It's opposite to like everywhere right now. So I was so cold and everybody else was burning. So weird. It is very much like the weather in southeast Alaska. It's very rainy and cold there a lot of the time. So I think it's just that weather pattern moving closer. Okay. Thank you, Streamlab bot. I was shrimping. Gosh, I can tell I've been watching a new show, BBC Ghosts, which I am absolutely in love with, but I can definitely tell that I've been watching it a lot because I keep noticing that I've adopted one of the characters' cadences. It's so funny. I pick up stuff like that like nobody's business. And there's always like one character that I like latch onto, like a sad little baby duck, and it's so funny to me. So like whenever I rewatch Community, I start talking like the Dean. For ghosts, I've been talking like Mary. I think there's a special name for it. It's like echolocalia or something like that. I think where like you pick up sounds and words and repeat them. And boy, do I have a problem with that. Let's see, Ted Lasso, it was Keely. It's always funny when I notice that, because like I know that I do it, but you don't always like realize it until you're in the middle of talking. You're like, oh, I copied that. I'll just steal my whole personality from this character. Thank you, bye. But Mary in BBC Ghosts is so funny, and she's actually the actress who I'm not going to remember the name of, Karen Wicks, something like that, is actually in Ted Lasso too. So it was funny to see the difference between those two characters. I love seeing actors in different things, and they just have like completely different characters. Yeah, I pick up accents too. I pick up I's accent if I watch him too much, like the voice in my head starts having a Scottish accent. And I will admit that I say get yourself to fuck like way more than I should. Okay. Painting. That's the next step here. I may also want to redo the buttons. I don't know that I'm happy with them. They're just so wonky in a way that I don't particularly like. Yeah, definitely. Anybody I listen to a lot, like the way that I say hello at the start of stream is almost exactly the way that Trish does it. Another streamer that I watch a lot and mod for. She says hello the same way every time when she starts up, and I've noticed that I've been doing that too, so I've been trying to like make myself make my own hello. But I don't know. It's so easy to pick stuff up from people. But whenever I'm talking to somebody with an accent too, I have to be like, I promise I'm not making fun of you. I just pick up sounds like this. I swear I don't mean anything by it. Please don't hate me. Okay. Rearranging things so that they make some amount of sense. What brushes do I want to use? The liner brush was good last time. I probably want that baby brush. Who else? This one. This is who I want. We do have some color choices for these. For the stitching, I can do whatever color I want. And by that I mean whatever color I think I need more of on this sheet. We do have some cool colors, but not a lot of straight blue, which will be good for this because this can be gray. Oh yeah, that's fair. Man, I was sick for like a super long time in high school. Like I stayed home for maybe a month. Um, which, you know what, looking back on it, that probably has to do with a burnout because that was the semester after I got straight A's. Realizations. Anyway, when I was staying home from school, the Lord of the Rings had just come out as the extended edition on DVD, and I watched all of it. I watched the movies, I watched every single commentary, I watched all the extra stuff. There was a lot of it. I just got super obsessed with it. Okay, so we're gonna do a wood handle there. So we've got some brown colored. I think more blue for sure. So maybe some blue stitching here. I think we could use some purple. Yeah, I love the behind the scenes stuff. There, it was just so fun. There's so many good quotes from that. Yeah, there's a lot of like really sweet stuff. Like they clearly had a great crew that actually cared about each other for those movies. Like they did such a good job with casting and making a community out of the entire project. Like especially with like the artists. I'm saying like too many times. Especially with the artists. Um that were working on the costumes and the props and all that kind of stuff. Like they put so much work into that. And you can tell because the movies are just so incredibly rich in a way that a lot of stuff isn't anymore. So you can like pause a part of the movie and stare at the details in the armor and the details in like how they did hair, and you can read the cultures in a lot of the stuff. And they really, I think, captured the soul of Tolkien books in a way that other people haven't because of those details. Because I think a big part of why Tolkien's work is so easy to grasp onto is because of that depth of details that he did. Like you don't have authors really delving into so much of the background, like their own lore anymore, and really didn't at that time either. Tolkien was really a one of a kind author that way. But all of that background really, I think, lent itself well to the movies and the way that they did that. So I think that they captured something in a way that no other production of those works are going to do. Because you had like real true fans doing that, the people who knew all of the extra background and stuff like that. But it's just incredible. Like there's so much of it there. I think I'm going to start with the seam ripper. They also just had incredible casting for that movie. Those movies. But the fact that like all the hobbits are still friends and stuff like that goes to prove that they accomplished something really deep with that, I think. I should try to read Lord of the Rings again. I've never actually managed to read them. Like, I know a lot of background lore and stuff like that just because I find it interesting, but the way they're written is difficult for my brain, or at least it was the last time I tried. Yeah, it was really just like the stars aligning partially. But they were also just like so committed to making it right, which a lot of stuff really isn't the focus anymore. Thanks, capitalism. I do think that they should have stopped with Lord of the Rings and not done the Hobbit movies. Controversial opinion, perhaps, but. Hmm. Yeah, I tried when I was in high school after I had watched all of the movies in classic hyperfocus style. Oh, that would probably be helpful. They weren't available as like good audiobooks when I was trying because I'm old. And they would have been prohibitively expensive because that was back when everything was still on CDs. Let's see, what other detail do I want to add to this right now? Just some texture there. I'll let that dry before yeah, before I continue. I still have all the files of a book that I really liked from my local library when I was in high school. There is some audiobook, and I decided to get it. I'm not going to remember what the author's name is. Eat Cake by Jean Ray. That's what it is. And I was obsessed with that book for ages. One of my favorite cakes to make, the recipe came from that book. And I still have it. I still have the audiobook files. I still have the recipes. But ripping all of those off of the CDs, and they didn't, like back in the day, it wouldn't suck down the information for audiobooks the same way it would for a music album because they just didn't put that information in to the like data. So I had to go through and number each and every single one on my own. The lengths we go to. I do have that book now as a digital version, which is much easier. But I still think it's so funny that I was so committed to doing that. I had to do that with an Augustine Burroughs book too, actually, now that I think about it. Oh gosh, stars, that would take forever. That's so much work. Actually, those files are probably still on my dead iPod Nano. I dropped it in the bathtub. And it never worked again. I still have it somewhere though, because that was such a good piece of technology. Like, it was such a perfect size. You could get it in super fun colors. Mine was orange. I miss when technology advances were like useful and not dystopian nightmares. Purple, good choice. I think I got orange because, well, for one, it was my favorite color at the time. But I think I got it because it matched something. Like, it matched my backpack for college or something like that. Yeah. My poor ill-fated one getting dropped in the bathtub. Oh, I was so sad about that. Still am, clearly. Yeah, I'm an Apple person, or I was for a really long time. I'm probably gonna switch um, whenever I get a proper desktop computer so that I can actually stream without my poor laptop dying. I keep telling my brother, because I have a MacBook, which was a gift, and I'm very grateful for it. Like, don't get me wrong, but it really trying to stream with it is very much like trying to make a pug run a marathon. Like, she's suffering; she can't breathe. Oh gosh, stars, that's the worst. I used to read in the tub a lot, and my favorite book of all time, I actually dropped that one in the bathtub like 4 times before I finally was like, okay, I need to buy a new copy. And I actually cut the pages out of it and used them to make origami flowers that I stuck onto like fairy light chain so that the light was coming out of the flowers. It was so cool. But all the lights burnt out on that, I think. I think I still have photos of that somewhere. I'll I'll put them somewhere where you can find them. Because it was such a cool project. I loved that idea. Where are my grays? Let's play. How many palettes does Katie actually have? Yeah, it was really fun. I would like to do that again. It's a lot of work for not a lot of payoff, really, but it's a fun little project. That was back when my depression was like really, really bad too. So it was something that I could do to keep my mind off of my mind, you know? I want a smaller brush. You. I think also just making something that was pretty that I could have next to me was a big thing. I'm still working on cleaning up stuff from that big depression slump, but hey, we're getting better. So, progress. Yeah, for sure. For a long time, I really like didn't do anything. Like I was just laying in bed. Like my muscles atrophied. That kind of level of depression. Because I really didn't do anything except sit in bed and watch stuff for like 3 years. Um, Not a great time in my life. I try to be somewhat open about it just because I think it's important to realize you can be in that place. It can get better. You can make it through and you can clean up whatever mess you happened to make while you were there, which I'm still working on doing. Um, that's part of the getting a stream set up actually is cleaning up one of my depression pits that's just been sitting there because it's working through it is like a lot of shame and embarrassment. But you really have to try to be kind to yourself both currently and in the past. Because it's not like anything you were doing was malicious to your current self. You were in a bad place. And you need to just treat yourself with kindness as you're cleaning all that up. But you really can get out of it. It's possible, and it's going to get better. And I think just being vocal about that is a big deal, which is why I try to do that. Like I don't tell all of the details or anything, but just saying like, "Oh yeah, I had this horrible horrible place that I was in, but I'm doing better now. I'm being kinder to myself. I'm actually producing things, I'm creating again. I'm inspired again." At the time, I really thought that I was never going to do anything ever again. But we got out, baby. So I try to be really vocal about that. What color do I want to make this thread? I want to make the label a light blue because there's a brand that I'm thinking of that had little wooden spools that my grandma had, and they had like a light blue label, blue and white. But the thread color could be anything. I do think I need more purple, and I could use more blue. Maybe pink. Oh, I guess I did pink there. I think we got plenty of yellow. So maybe I'll do like a purpley pink color for that. Kind of like in the magenta realm, but a little cooler. But yeah, part of the cleaning up the depression mess thing, I'm gonna be setting up a desk, which I bought and will arrive at some point. I don't have an estimated arrival on it yet. And my dad actually yesterday randomly bought me a nicer mic, so I'll be able to set that up too, which is nice. He got one for himself too, and then was like, oh wait, Katie does stuff with this now, and offered to get me one, which was really sweet and a surprise. I had purchased one, but was able to cancel my order, which is great. So I'll actually have like a proper mic instead of, I'm using a headset, and I do like this headset all right. Like it's pretty good quality. It doesn't pick up bass tones as much, so my voice sounds higher than it does on other mics, which is fine. That doesn't bother me. But the problem with this headset is that the style of the headphones pinches my big ears. I have really big ears. It's a family trait. But it pinches my ears, and so it starts to give me a headache after like an hour and a half to 2 hours a lot of the time, unless I'm been wearing it a lot and I'm used to it. But being able to wear my other more comfortable headphones will be so great. And I'm very excited about that. I do need to get like a proper mic stand. That's on the list. I do have one on my throne wish list now. I did make one. I'm not like expecting anything. I just figured it wouldn't hurt to have one out there. Especially since my birthday's coming up. So if anybody wanted to attack me with gifts the way I attack other people with gifts. Yeah, some of them are really bad stars, but these are the ones that are like, here, I can actually show you. Hang on. I'm going to take off my headset so it might be a little bit loud. But like they aren't actual over-ear headphones. They're like slap your ear into your head headphones. So I do a lot better with like the cupped version that goes over your ears. Usually those ones like are too small to really cup my ear, but I can at least fold my ear into the cup. And it's a lot better. But the ones I have are Bose headphones, so they're like pretty nice quality. And the pads are a lot more comfortable than this one. But I definitely get headaches really easily, which is frustrating. Let's play how many palettes am I going to paint out of at once? So that'll be nice, and I won't have to worry as much about the outside noise coming in or like sneezing or touching my face because those all pick up on mic. Like I've been muting the mic to like scratch my nose and stuff because it shows up. If I touch my face a lot, it's a problem. Okay. More grays for these. I could do this in a gold or like a bronze kind of color. I haven't tried to do bronze before. That could be an adventure. I probably just want to do it like more orangey than yellow. Orange and brown instead of yellow and orange. Probably? We'll find out. I'm willing to adventure with that today. The power of coffee. I want, there's a specific color that I'm looking for, and I don't have it on my palette right now. The big old bucket of watercolors featuring stickers. No, not Nubian Bush. Forget what, Azo something? Nickel Azo, that's you. That sucker. I don't think I have orange there. I have an orange over there, but it's not the orange that I want. It's so funny how I can, like, speaking of the depression slump, how I can, like, track my life as pre-depression and post-depression. Like, I still have depression, but so, like, all of these Reeves watercolors that I have, I bought pre-depression, and all the Daniel Smith ones I bought after. So a lot of the Reeves, and there's two other colors, these guys, this brand that I bought before, like split, so I have to pay more attention when I'm using them. Where is the orange? I know you're in here. There you are. Come here. There we go. Like, so the only constant in my life is art supplies, I guess was my point. So I can say, oh, this was this era of my life because I have all of this stuff to make perlers art with, or this was this point in my life because I have a whole bunch of yarns that I was going to make a blanket with, and then I didn't. It's just funny how you can track your life like that. Because I definitely go through phases of interests. Watercolor has been pretty consistent in my adult life. Embroidery I started because I got a special interest in the Oregon Trail, which is a little less weird because I did grow up in Oregon. Oh, this sucker is dry. But I started embroidery because I got obsessed with the Oregon Trail. And I think it was second grade, I actually had like an Oregon Trail Pioneer birthday party. My mom was always so good about humoring my random interests. I think probably because we both had the same brain worms a lot of the time. We both really like would latch on to certain things. She also just wanted to, like support me, but we were both pretty artsy people. So dry. I haven't used this one in forever. There we go. Okay. The first piece of embroidery I ever remember making was a little covered wagon at my Oregon Trail themed birthday party, which was not a big hit with the other kids. Shocking. Okay. Making this like this color background. Let's see, I had to teach myself how to knit like 7 different times in my life until it finally stuck. And I still do it wrong. I always knit through the back loop instead of the front. It's so much faster. It's kind of like how I don't tie my shoes right either. I found a shortcut and now I don't remember how to do it the right way. And as I've gotten older and hung out with people more, I'm realizing that a lot of like my little quirks are actually ADHD and autism symptoms. So that's fun. But like the hyper focus on the Oregon Trail was definitely a thing. And Titanic too was a big one. I don't know. I was a weird kid. I'm a weird adult too, but being a weird adult is a lot less alienating than being a weird kid. Yeah, exactly. And as a weird adult, especially in the internet era, you have a lot more control over where you go and who you spend your time with. With kids, you really don't get that chance. Your parents are in charge of who you have like play dates with. Your school, you kind of can't escape, and you can't escape the kids there. So like I have not talked to anybody from my high school in over a decade at this point. And I grew up someplace where we went to school with the same kids from elementary all the way through high school. So I really didn't get a chance to explore other people until I moved to Alaska. And then going to college was like a revelation. Just because you can find other people who are interested in the same stuff you are by taking classes and stuff like that that you might not have taken otherwise. But it's very much that I'm thinking about that one Tumblr post. It's like, oh, well, Becky from 2nd grade knew immediately that I had autism, kind of a thing. Where it's like kids really do pick out the weird ones and target them. And I was definitely one of those kids. I was bullied a lot in school. So was my brother. But some of the kids on my block actually helped me out with that for a while. Because we were in a weird area for the school I went to. So I went to school in like a really, really rich town. Like it has professional basketball players and people who are worth millions of dollars kind of stuff. But we were in a mailing district that was technically part of a different city. So the cost of property there was a lot lower. So we were like the weird poor kids. So we kind of stuck together. And there are a few older kids on the block who, if they saw somebody being mean to me, would step in while we were still in the same school. But like both being a weird kid and being one of the poor kids was interesting. I definitely think that it taught me a lot that has changed who I am as an adult. Because I understood the difference between poor, like middle class, and proper rich better than a lot of other people did because of where I grew up. So I was anti-capitalism very early on because I saw what those people were like. Ooh, let's throw my paintbrush. That school was not good for me. It was one of the best schools in the state, like numbers wise, but really not a good fit for me. So I like graduated late with a 1.9 GPA, which is not good, spoiler alert. And then went on to college and graduated with, I think I graduated with a 3.6, which is much better. I forget which, if it's sum laude or cum laude. I got to wear the cords when I graduated, which was fun. But having some vague amount of control over your life really does so much more for you than anything else. Like being able to properly choose your classes and that kind of stuff. My high school did have like some good classes and good electives that you could pick. So we had like ceramics and musical theater and stuff that a lot of other places didn't because it was a rich school, even though it was still a public school. So I got a lot of opportunities that other people didn't, and I'm grateful for that for sure. But I have definitely lost my train of thought of where I was going with that. Oh, but the kids with better grades were given priority about what electives they got to take, and I was not one of those kids. So I didn't have like real control over what I was doing. I did get to do musical theater because it wasn't super popular with a lot of the other kids. So that was good. Even though I was definitely not really one of the theater kids. Because a lot of them were like the choir kids, and that was a clique. Which I was not part of. But it was still a fun class. That was definitely my best grades, was musical theater. Probably mostly because I didn't have homework. Not gonna lie. I was not good with homework. There was one semester where I got straight A's in high school. And then I immediately had like a collapse. But that was how I got my ears pierced. That was a big deal. My dad was super against, still is really, against body mods. So I wanted to get my ears pierced since I was in second grade. And I finally was able to do that I think it was my junior year of high school. Because of that one straight A semester. And then I immediately tanked again. Did you choose to have them pierce stars, or was it one of those situations where you didn't really get a choice, but your parents decided that you needed it? Because my mom actually closed her ear piercings up before she married my dad. But she'd chosen to have them pierced. And then I stretched my ears when my dad said he was moving out of Alaska. That was another contention. He does not like that. Yeah, that's fair, Stars. There's a lot of, especially kids I babysat in high school and stuff, who their parents had gotten their ears pierced just because that was like normal for their family. think I need to do a darker wash over this. Oh, the camera is super blown out. Yikes. Go there. Is that a little bit better? Yeah. Let me see if I can lower the brightness a little bit. I think that's a little bit better, maybe. Yeah, that's better. I think it's nice to have the option. I always really liked like dangly earrings though. I gauged mine. So I do still have some like dangly earrings and stuff, but it's a different beast. Although I really don't do all that much with them, if I'm being honest. I usually just wear some silicone tunnels just because they're comfortable to sleep in and stuff. Okay, this may ruin it, so we're gonna find out. But I do think that it needs to be darker as a whole. I can always redo what I did, and that's fine. I think that's fine. It's a little messy on the side, but that's okay. Need to not mess with it too much or it's going to mess with the underlaying. Pick up the texture again. But my ears aren't like super huge. A lot of people with gauges have like really big ones. I just went to 00, which is pretty small really. And I have some really cool tunnels and stuff like that, but I don't use them super often. I use them more when I'm visiting my dad because I have to like dress properly instead of just sitting in the house for ages like I do when I'm here. Although if I don't wear my gauges for a couple days, they do start to shrink. Or used to. I guess it's been a while. I think that I'm gonna need more brown at some point. I really should just clean out this palette at this point. We've used most of everything in there and I need to reset it up really, instead of just shunting everything onto another palette. Maybe I'll do that after stream today if I don't have too much other stuff going on. Because for the most part, I've used that up, so I don't feel as bad about cleaning it out now. Oh, I have more here. That will work. Pinned message. Why did you go away? I told you not to. Ah, well. Fix it in a minute. Man, there's a watercolor that I've been wanting to get, like a different color. But I can only find it in huge tubes. I don't want a huge tube. I don't need a new huge tube. Not even gonna remember. It was like a warm gray. I forget the right name of it. But I can only find it in a 15 milliliter tube. So these are the 5 milliliter tubes. That's what I usually use. I don't need 3 times this much watercolor paint. It's like for the most part, I really don't go through that much. Because I do like little things mostly. I don't know, I think the biggest thing I've done is a piece of, well, no, the biggest thing I've done is that one commission for a friend. I did a typography wedding gift. So I did the typography of the wedding song, and then I did some plants and stuff on it. But I don't have that one. I have this one. Like, this is as big as I get usually, unless I'm doing a commission. This is from a short story on Tumblr. They give me permission to use it to do some art. But like, I don't need 15 milliliters of paint. I really don't. Just give me a 5 milliliter tube, please. Can't find it anywhere. Okay. I still think I want to mess with this a little bit, but it's still a little bit wet. Oh gosh, the pressure is changing here, I can tell. My sinuses keep being big mad at me. Which probably means we're going to get more rain. I'm okay with that. But I bet a lot of the outdoorsy people here are very upset about how much rain we've had this summer. It has been a lot. I like it though. I think I need to add a little bit more orange to this brown to make it make color sense. I really have just been rambling a lot today. Which is good. I'm supposed to talk a lot, right? That's the job. think I need to darken the shadow on the actual face there, but I need to wait until this dries first, so. Let's see, who's dry? Who's dry? Let's mess with you some more. I do think the wood texture on this one is starting to look pretty nice. So maybe the top needs to be a little bit darker. Maybe I just need to add some warmer tones. And then add a highlight on the one side here. Maybe I need to deepen the shadow on the opposing side too. For now, I think adding some warmer tones there is good. And then the rest of that is dry enough that I can start on the blade, I guess. Is that the seam rippy part? The rip part? I don't know what the proper name for that is. There probably is one. This one. I guess I need to decide what color to make the ball up there too. I think all the ones I've ever had have had red on it. I have my own stream up on 2 different streams right now, and it's so distracting. It's like I can see one thing on my computer, but that doesn't have the same color balance and stuff as what it would be just on Twitch. So I have another device over here with my own stream, also so that I can see when ads are starting and stuff like that, which I don't think I have any. I think I just have pre-rolls. I'm not important enough to really push ads with, I think. Which I'm okay with. But I can see myself like 30 seconds after I'm doing stuff. I think that is super uneven. Just too much pigment right here. Calm down. I don't think that's getting fixed, so I think I need to deepen it. In other places. Or just use a different color here, maybe. May just be that that's a weird part on the paper, I don't know. Sometimes if you get like oil, or if there's a thing going on when the paper is made, it can make like weird little spots that suck up the pigment more than other places, which is kind of frustrating. Oof, too much. I've actually been kind of wanting to experiment with that, like taking some cooking oil or something and seeing if you can do like resistance painting by painting with oil first and then going over its watercolor. I'm sure somebody's done that before. I can't be the only person to have ever thought of that, but it seems like it would be fun to play with. I love doing things wrong on purpose for art. It's so fun. I'm more comfortable with doing that with fiber stuff. That's what I have formal training in. I did an art minor in college and I focused on weaving specifically. So like one of my projects I had to do a tapestry, which I'm not the biggest fan of doing, not gonna lie. They're so fussy. But I have more projects like that planned in the future actually. Um, but I did a tapestry completely out of wool and then threw it in the washing machine to felt it on purpose, which was fun. It actually didn't felt up as much as I was expecting. But I love just doing things wrong and seeing what happens. I was just talking the other day with people about canvases for painting. And if I ever get my mom's loom up here, I was thinking it might be fun to just kind of mess with weaving my own canvases and then using the shrinkage and stretching wrong on purpose to make different effects. The reason I say making the canvas and not just doing that with something pre-bought is because if I do it myself, I can do test pieces and stuff like that to see how the fiber would react. But if you do a painting with like acrylic, for instance, which I'd be more likely to use, I don't really like oils very much. But if you paint on it without stretching it and then stretch it, the paint can crack. And I thought it might be kind of cool to do like a canvas dyed, so like bright red or something orangey, kind of like that, and then doing black acrylic over it and then stretching it so that it kind of looked like lava. That was my original thought. I think that could be pretty cool. I'd need to do some testing to see how controlled that can be. How I might be able to control it. But I think part of the fun there is not controlling it. I don't know how well it would work or if somebody else has done something like that. I haven't looked into it really, but seems cool. I just like learning rules and then ignoring them. I also, this is just going to be every single art project Katie has ever thought about doing in her entire life, apparently. For a while, there was something that I really wanted to do, which was weave cloth on like a pretty basic cloth, so like white cotton or something like that. And then find some place to just leave the cloth with just organic things on top of it that would rot so that it would dye the fabric naturally. As kind of like a comment on what's left behind after death and that kind of stuff. I thought that would be cool. Which I have a pretty big backyard, so I might be able to do that. Something like that. Again, if I get the loom up here, because I am not weaving enough fabric to do that on just a rigid heddle. That would take forever. I do have a rigid heddle, but a lot more work doing it on that versus a floor loom. And I think doing different weave patterns would be interesting too, to see how it affects it. So right now my mom's loom is down. We're she and my dad are, or were. I don't know how to say that properly with one person who's alive and one who's not. But it's down there, and it has some of her last projects on it, ones that she never got around to finishing. So I finished one, which was a like shawl, I think was the original idea, with like some super bright bamboo, excuse me, bamboo blend warp. My voice is just gonna not have fun right now. And then I did white wool as the weft. And then right now it's a bunch of kitchen towels that are in the colors of the university that my dad's working at now. I got some of those done, but I didn't get all of them done the last time I was down there. So that'll be more stuff. And then she has one more that she has laying around that she never got to, which is some white silk that I think was for a shawl that she was going to either put in an auction, or I was going to wear to like a museum white party or something like that. That one has like proper notes and stuff. The other ones had just kind of like some sketchy notes that didn't fully say what the projects were, so I kind of had to make some of it up. But I also, before that loom moves, I want to do a kind of memorial piece the next time I'm down there. After I finish the towels, I want to do the memorial piece next. Hi, Grim. Thank you. Hydrate. Accomplished. Stretching. Commencing. But I want to do a memorial piece with the leftovers of different fibers she has there. Say something nice about myself. I really like my outfit today. I think it's cute. I got a new shirt, and even though it didn't fit properly, I styled it in a way that's super cute and that I can wear a bunch. So part of the thing about being a fiber artist, which my mom was also, is that you end up with a lot of like scrap pieces of various yarns and threads and all that kind of stuff. So I want to do like a stylized portrait, I guess, an abstract portrait of her with all of the leftover pieces of yarn that are around, and some of the like other craft stuff she left behind, because all of that is like mine now, and I have to figure out how to deal with it, which I had to do that when she moved out of Alaska too, because she left a bunch of stuff with me and I had to figure out what I wanted to keep and what I wanted to donate and blah blah blah. But I think I want to do like an abstract piece with all the different like small pieces of yarn from other projects that she left behind, kind of like a detritus, like what's left behind after someone dies kind of project. And I have like really loose sketches for that, but I haven't really, what's the word? Like solidified my ideas behind that beyond what I'm saying, really. I don't know that I accomplished making that like bronze, but it seems fine. I think it's clear what it is at least. Oh, I meant to put that pinned post back up, and then I promptly did not. I don't know why it didn't keep it up like I asked it to, but it sure did. you gonna stay up now, buddy? Okay. That probably will stay up now. Because that's the other thing I'm thinking about here as I'm rambling about every thought that I've ever had in my entire life. I have a bunch of, because I want to make a Halloween sticker sheet. That's going to be the next project after I finish these. So I have a few things written down, and Stars very kindly helped with this earlier. So, jack-o'-lanterns, pumpkins, candy corn. I want to do a skull with like a melting candle on top of it. Very cultish. Black cat, a witch's hat, a cauldron, which I do have a small drawing of from another project that I think I'll probably use as a sticker, because I can just add that in. And I can actually sell prints and stuff like of that once I get it scanned in. Bowl of candy, like a trick-or-treat bowl. Bats and potions are the ideas we have now. So if anybody has any other ideas, I'd love to hear it. Yeah. I really feel like I'm not getting a lot of work done today, but I have done a lot of talking. Okay. Working on this now. Really should be doing the wider shadows before I do this, but oh well. I've actually, on the same scrap train as I was talking about before, I've actually been saving all of the scrap pieces of thread from the Advent book that I've been doing, with the plan to reuse those for another project. Because I want to make tiny little baby tapestries with it. And maybe make jewelry out of them. So I have some necklace blanks, like pendant blanks, to use for that are very small. So it's like, I think they're an inch tall and 3/8 of an inch across. So just like the littlest, babyest tapestries you could possibly imagine. As a way to like reuse the pieces from another project. I may also do embroideries for some of those, because I think I got a pack of like 20. To do some interesting jewelry stuff. Which, like I was talking about earlier, other hyper focuses that I've done in my life. I did beading for a while, and I also did tiny polymer clay food for a while. So I do have some jewelry experience already, but I haven't done any like fiber art jewelry, and I think that that would be fun to do. Would be interesting. I do have stuff to make like a really basic tapestry loom. Like basic. But hopefully eventually I can afford a proper tiny tapestry loom, which would make life a lot easier. There's one on my throne wish list that it's like $300 something. But the really big deal is that it comes with a shedding device built in, which is the part that helps you split the threads from each other so that you can send the weft through, which makes life a lot easier and it'd go a lot faster. So hopefully at some point I can afford that. But there are a lot of other things that I need to, like actual life stuff, so not an immediate goal, a some point goal. So I do think I'll do some little tapestries after I finish the Advent book as my, ooh, that's very dark. That's better. As my next fiber project for Patreon, because right now it's the Advent book. But I think doing little tapestries with the leftovers from that would be a good follow-up, I guess. Sequel? I don't know. Companion piece. I do also need to decide what my next watercolor traditional art project is going to be for Patreon, because I think my dream journal project is kind of coming to an end. I'm feeling mostly done with it. I'll probably do a few more. I just finished number 21 this month. So I've been doing about one a month, so that's about, I'm nearing 2 years with it, which I think my dreams have actually changed since I started doing the project in a good way. So I think soon I will make an announcement about what my next project is for patrons first, and then everybody else gets to know. But the art, man, it never ends. I got too many ideas and not enough time. Where is my this thing? I do need to do my next dream journal though. I need to get that done this month. Why is doing art so much freaking work all the time? One of the discords I'm in is doing like keep track of your writing kind of a thing. And there's a way to do it for other creative projects where you count a minute as a word. And I've been doing that this month for all of my creative projects. So anything art related or social media related relating to the art. And kind of realizing how much work I actually do. If I hear anybody else ever say to me again that you need to treat doing art online as a job, I may just punch them in the face. Because I've been doing, like, if I'm being very anal about how many minutes I count, I'm doing at least 5 hours a day ish, unless I'm really, really feeling ill. So I had one day where I really didn't work on much of anything. But like some days, I'm really just doing it all the frickin' time. So I'm doing social media stuff. Uh, I've started posting TikToks again. I hate it. So I've been doing YouTube shorts, I've been doing TikToks, I've been doing Instagram reels, I've been doing Instagram posts. It's so much all the time. I still have some videos edited to put up on my YouTube that I need to find music for, and that's my least favorite part of all of the projects, especially the longer ones. It's so hard to find music that you can actually use. It's a nightmare. I think I need to deepen the color in the grooves there for that one. Once that's dry, I need to add some more color to the edges to shade it. I do think I want to deepen the shadow on this edge. Yeah, I think that's better. I do want to add a highlight over here too. I think I'm just going to use some white watercolor, maybe mixed with a little bit of brown, or orange, I mean, to do that. Because I think a warmer tone too. The highlights on wood look really nice. That is not white enough. Like that, and then I'll go in after that dries with a little bit of white gel pen just to give it a little bit more of a shine. Okay, groove darkening. That's the next step here. I do still have those stitches to do, but I think those ones will go a lot faster. Maybe I'll just slap down the base color after I finish this step here. Which, do I remember what colors I said at the beginning of stream? Probably not. Purple and blue, I think, maybe? Okay. Let those dry a bit. And finish up this. And then after I'm done with these ones, I think that's the end of the sewing sticker sheet. I think. We'll see if I decide that I need to add more after I get them all in a file to set them up as a sheet. But I think so next stream is on Tuesday. That I will do digital art again, and I will be doing this week's food painting challenge again. They just posted that photo today, and it's cherries, and they look really nice, so I'm excited about that. But I think for the next physical art stream, which should be next Friday, unless something changes drastically, knock on wood, I'll probably be doing refilling my paint palette properly. I need to clean this in between now and then. So it'll be probably a swatch and kind of like a little organization stream. Because I make a map of, I guess map isn't really the right word, of a key of what colors I've put where and like what brands they are and stuff like that. So I'll work on that. Because I do also have some new colors of watercolor that I bought. And I also have gouaches in here that I haven't swatched before. So I'll probably do a swatch organization stream a bit. And then we'll start working on the Halloween stickers. That's the next physical project. Yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting to say something still, but that's just like a constant anymore. So I think I'll do purple for the X's and blue for the running stitch here. And I do think I'm going to slap the purple color down on all of these, and then I'm going to take a quick break to run to the bathroom, and then I'll be back. Because I would like to get these done today, so that I can let them dry and then scan them and work towards a proper sticker sheet. I'll probably order this sticker sheet and maybe the Halloween sticker sheet at the same time, but I might change my mind about that depending on what my money looks like next month, because my birthday is next month, so I do want to save some extra. But hey, maybe I'll sell more originals and then I'll have enough money to do whatever I want. You never know. I really should put my shop link on a timer. I will say that I don't think Streamlabs is doing the auto posts the way that it should, because we've only had one shrimp check and it's supposed to post that every 20 minutes. So I may need to poke with that later. Although I think somebody else, I think it was Trish, was having problems with that yesterday too. So maybe I need to adjust some settings, or maybe it is a Streamlabs problem. Okay. I am going to take a really quick break. It probably will be like less than a minute. Let's see. Oh, that's going to be part of why my computer's so slow right now. Whoops, I left something open that I shouldn't have. I was going to check to see if it was going to let me run ads, but it looks like it's just never going to load, so never mind. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Are you dry? Yes, excellent. I'm going to move these out of the way for a bit. think giving these the right thread texture may be a bit of an adventure. We'll see. I was doing it digitally. I know 100% how I would do that, but I haven't really done that traditionally recently. I guess I did it a little bit on the embroidery floss ones. But I think it's more important on here. These are definitely ones I'm going to need to clean up in post. I think just along the edges, which is really easy to do for a sticker sheet since you're already cutting them out to make them transparent. Which I'll probably do on my own unless somebody is like really interested in seeing how I do that. It's not very exciting, I won't lie. Because really what I do is fussily erase around the color for an extended period of time and Procreate. I think I need to darken those all up a little to match more with that one. Which is maybe more dramatic than it needs to be, but it's my art and I can make the rules. Lots of barking dogs today. I think if I do a little bit with pink as a highlight up here. I don't know that that looks very highlighty actually. I think that's too much purple in it. I do think a pink highlight is the way to go. Okay, we'll add some texture to that in a bit. Maybe I'm going to do that with colored pencil actually. I have some mechanical colored pencils. I think I have a purple one in here that will look good. Yes, I have purple and pink. So I will do that after that dries. And is the blue one in here too? It is. Fantastic. These ones just have a finer point than the other colored pencils I have, which are just like your basic Primsacolor ones. Oh, I chipped my fingernail. That's so annoying. Okay. I want these to be blue. I do still have a little bit of blue in here, so I'll use that. Those can work on drying, and I'll add some gel pen highlights to these other guys. Okay, thimble. Okay, I think those two are done. So I just have to finish up these little threads. And our set is complete. As complete as it's gonna get today. I don't know, I still feel like I need some smaller, like, in between the big stickers, but I'm not sure what I want this to be. I do have the loose pins, which I think will be scattered around. I guess, let me count. 8, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's 32 stickers. I think that's reasonable for a sheet, actually. My rainy day sheet is 30. So. Let's do some shading on the blue here. Oh man, speaking of stickers, Sticky Business is coming out soon and I'm so excited. The demo was only for Windows, but I got to watch some people play it and I'm so excited about it because I definitely don't get enough of running a sticker business in my real life. I need to do more. It's such a cute game though. If I didn't think my laptop would explode, I would definitely play it on stream, but I don't think that my laptop would be able to handle it. The combo of just running Streamlabs is enough of an issue for it, but the combo of doing both that and a game I think would be a little much. I also only have the one screen since it's a laptop, which is not great for streaming anything with a window capture. I can finish sentences. I know how, I promise. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more pink in here. Not that much though. Yeesh. There we go. I may add a little bit of green to the blue for a highlight. This will make it a little more interesting. Also need to do that needle. Okay, are you dry? Close enough. I don't know that you can really tell those details on stream, but it does look more like thread, in my opinion. I might go over with some watercolor there too, just because using the mechanical pencil, it makes some press marks in the paper, and so the pigment will pool there. If I just do another gloss over. And so that's another thing that would be fun to play with along with the resistance ideas. Doing like I don't know the right name for that tool, like a ball point is not right either. Just to make indents in the paper and then let the pigment pool where you made the indents. Maybe I'll play with that at some point. I think I do want to add a little bit of pink in here too. Here. Yeah, like that. How are you doing? Okay. I don't know, maybe I like that the way it is and I won't mess with it anymore. Just do some highlights and maybe deepen the shadow on the needle here. Okay. There. I could add a shadow underneath the needle so that once it's put on paper it would look a little more 3D, but I don't know that I want to. I think leaving it like that is fine. Okay. Okay, so on my list, I need to clean that palette. So I think I've used as much paint as I'm gonna get out of it. I think that's a good amount of stickers. And I will have these originals for sale as minis. They can be used as like bookmarks or something. But my patrons will get first whack at that. They get to claim all art before it goes up for sale in my Ko-fi shop. And I also warn them about other new products hitting so that they can claim that. So they'll get the first whack at stickers and the sticker sheet of these once that happens, of the Halloween stuff that I'm planning to do. All that jazz. All right. Whew. For how much time that took, I feel like I didn't really get much done, which is ridiculous, and that's just my brain being silly. Let's see who's online that I can raid. Oh, Hannah Hillam is drawing. We could go raid her. She does some very memeable drawings. She's pretty popular. That laying in bed and the brain says something meme. That's her art. So we can go bother her. I say bother. It's not really bothering. Let's see if I spelled things right. I think that I did. Okay, so before I send that raid through, I'll be live again on Tuesday afternoon. Same dealio. I'll be doing the food paint challenge. And then, unless something changes, I'll be doing traditional art again on Friday. Depending on where I'm at with other stuff, I might do a Thursday morning stream too, but I'll announce that the day before on socials if I'm going to do that. Really, it depends on how tired I am on Wednesday, because Thursday is like my one day to sleep in. So we'll see about that. And next traditional art stream, I'll be refilling my palette and doing some paint swatches. So that'll be a nice little kind of organization style stream that's pretty chill. And then I'll get started on Halloween stickers. That's the next big thing. So hope to see you then. If anybody has any more Halloween ideas for what you'd want to see on a Halloween sticker sheet, feel free to catch me on socials. I'm most places under the same name, so I'm pretty easy to find. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's get this raid started. Oh, my poor computer is so slow. She's working so hard. Okay, so I also will probably shuffle emotes around to add the hey, and I'm probably going to move the dihydrate to bit emote. So that'll be next time. I'll probably do that tomorrow, and we'll see when stuff gets approved. But until then, everybody take care of yourselves. Remember to hydrate. Remember stretch. And I'll see you next time.